Some women spend months or even years by the side of a man who never truly loved them. But how can you tell if that's your case? There are certain behaviors that give everything away, but many people ignore these signs until it's too late. Does he really like you, or is he just keeping the relationship going out of convenience? In today's video, I'm going to reveal 8 shocking signs that he never really loved you, but pretends he does. If you recognize more than 3 on this list, it's time to open your eyes. Sign number 1, he doesn't care about meeting your friends and family. When someone genuinely likes us, they want to be a real part of our lives. And that includes meeting the people who are important to us, like our friends and family. If he never shows any curiosity about them or always finds an excuse to avoid get-togethers, that's a red flag. Because, let's be honest, when you love someone, you want to be close to everything that makes them happy. If he only shows up when it's just the two of you but disappears when it's time to connect with your world, he may not be as emotionally invested as you think. A real relationship goes beyond romantic moments. It's also about building bonds and getting closer to each other's universe. After all, when we care about someone, we want to know everything about them, including the people they love. And listen, don't fall for the excuse of, I'm just shy or I'm not very social. Sure, some people take longer to open up, but what really matters is their effort. If he truly cares, he will at least try to be present. But if he ignores your invitations or looks visibly uncomfortable when you talk about your family and friends, pay attention. It could be a clear sign that he doesn't see a future with you. Now stop and think. Does this lack of interest only happen when it comes to your friends and family? Or does he also seem distant in other aspects of your life? The next sign might make things even clearer. Sign number 2, his communication is cold and distant. A healthy relationship involves conversation and connection. When someone truly cares, they want to know how your day was, share news, and show interest, even in the little things. But if he only reaches out when it's convenient for him, replies with short messages, or takes forever to respond, something is off. A lack of communication can be a strong sign that he's not emotionally invested. And when you do talk, is it always superficial? If he avoids deeper topics, refuses to talk about feelings, or quickly changes the subject when things get personal, it could be a sign that he doesn't see the relationship as something serious. Because when someone genuinely likes you, they want to connect. And that means having open, honest, and frequent conversations. Now think about it. Do you feel like you're always the one initiating conversations? That if it were up to him, you'd barely talk? That can be exhausting and even frustrating. After all, love should be reciprocal. No one deserves to beg for attention or settle for cold, occasional responses. And have you ever felt like someone was talking to you out of obligation with no real interest? Let me know in the comments. But if communication is already weak, imagine what happens when it comes to commitment. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about now. Sign number 3, he doesn't make an effort or commit. Relationship needs balance. One person can't do everything while the other just enjoys the benefits. If you're always the one making the effort, planning dates, solving problems, and keeping the connection alive while he just goes with the flow, that's a red flag. Love isn't just about sweet words. It's about actions. When someone truly cares, they make an effort to be present. They plan outings, create special moments, and show in their everyday actions that they want to be part of your life. But if everything depends on you, and he never takes the initiative to strengthen the relationship, the truth might be harsh but necessary. He simply doesn't care enough to put in the effort. And it's even worse if he's always too busy for you, but miraculously has time for work, friends, hobbies. Everything seems to be a priority, except the relationship. Let's be real. No one is always too busy. When we want something, we make time for it. If he's not doing that for you, he's already showing you where you really stand in his life. And if this pattern keeps repeating, it's worth asking yourself, does he truly want this relationship? Or is he just staying because it's convenient? Before answering that, there's another sign that might make things even clearer. Sign number 4, he's only interested in the physical. Side physical attraction is part of any relationship, but if that's the only strong point between you, something is wrong. If your dates always end the same way, and he never suggests anything different, his interest might not go beyond the surface. Love goes far beyond physical touch. It grows through emotional connection and genuine interest in each other. Pay attention to the dynamic between you two. Does he suggest different kinds of plans? Does he show curiosity about your life, your dreams, your story? Or does everything seem like just a step toward the same predictable ending? Because when someone truly loves you, they want to be with you in different ways, not just when it's convenient for them. And more importantly, how does he react when you suggest something different? If he always seems bored when there's no intimacy involved, cancels plans that don't include privacy, or disappears when he realizes things aren't going his way, that's a huge red flag. When someone loves you, they love all of you, not just what you can offer them. But what if this disinterest goes beyond your dates? What if he doesn't even include you in his future plans? That could be one of the clearest signs that, from the very beginning, his feelings were never real. Sign number 5. He never talks about the future with you. When someone truly loves you, including you in their future plans, happens naturally. It could be something simple, like mentioning a trip he'd love to take with you, or something bigger, like living together one day. But if he never brings up these kinds of conversations or changes the subject when you do, that's a red flag. Because when someone wants something serious, they think ahead. The bigger problem is when he only lives in the present, showing no interest in building something more solid. If you've been together for months, or even years, and he still avoids any discussion about commitment, he may have never seen this relationship as something long-term. Someone who truly wants to be with you makes plans, even if they're small, and even worse, if he seems annoyed or irritated when you mention the future, but at the same time makes plans with his friends, family, or even work. That says a lot. Does he see you as part of his life, or is he just keeping the relationship going as long as it's convenient? No one deserves to wait for a future the other person isn't even considering, but it's not just the future he avoids. Many times, he also makes sure to keep the relationship as discreet as possible. And to what extent is that normal? This next point might be even more concerning. Sign number 6. He doesn't show affection in public. Love doesn't need to be put on display for the whole world, but when someone genuinely cares about you, affection happens naturally. If he avoids holding your hand, pulls away when someone he knows appears or acts like you're just friends in public, that could be a warning sign. After all, why hide a feeling that should be genuine? The classic excuse is, I don't like public displays of affection, but that explanation starts to fall apart when you notice that he doesn't seem to have the same reservations with other people. If he acts one way when it's just the two of you and completely different when others are around, he might have reasons that aren't so innocent for keeping the relationship low-key. And more importantly, how does he introduce you to others? Does he call you his girlfriend? Does he acknowledge the relationship naturally? Or does he always avoid putting a label on it? A man who loves his partner feels proud to have her by his side and doesn't need to hide it. When he avoids any definition or seems uncomfortable acknowledging the relationship, it's worth reflecting on whether he's truly committed. But the problem goes beyond how he acts in public. There's an even more serious behavior that can make you feel small within the relationship. If you've noticed this, it's time to open your eyes. But before we move on to the next sign, I have something important to tell you. Did you know there's a secret that only 1 in every 1,000 women knows? It's something that makes any man commit to you completely, without even understanding why. This information is so rare that only a few people have access to it. If you're ready to discover something that can change your love life forever, I've left an exclusive video in the comments. But watch it quickly. It might not be available for long. Sign number 7. He's always criticizing you in a healthy relationship. A partner offers support and encouragement. But if he's constantly pointing out your flaws, downplaying your achievements, or making comments that hurt your self-esteem, that's not love. Small criticisms here and there may seem harmless at first, but over time, they chip away at your confidence and make you feel like you're not enough. Pay attention to how he speaks to you. If his words make you feel small, insecure, or like nothing you do is ever good enough, that's not care. it's devaluation. Many times these criticisms come disguised as jokes or just being honest, but deep down, they're just ways to bring you down. Someone who truly loves you wants to see you happy, not make you doubt yourself. And how does he react when you accomplish something? Is he happy for you, or does he always find a way to minimize your success? If every time you share good news, he makes a sarcastic remark or tries to take credit away from your effort, that says way more about him than it does about you. A loving partner feels proud of you, cheers you on, and celebrates with you. And if these constant criticisms have already started affecting your confidence, you might have noticed another issue: a lack of support when you need it most. Because worse than being criticized is feeling completely alone when everything falls apart. Sign number 8. He lacks empathy and doesn't offer emotional support. Relationships aren't just about happy moments. Everyone has tough days, and it's exactly during those times that true love is revealed. If, when you need him the most, he becomes cold, impatient, or simply disappears, that's a clear sign that he was never truly invested. Loving someone means being there through the highs and lows, not just when it's convenient. Now, pay attention to how he reacts when you open up about your feelings. Does he listen with interest, or does he seem bored? Does he try to comfort you, or does he change the subject? A partner who truly cares listens, tries to understand your feelings, and offers support, even if he doesn't have all the answers. Emotional indifference is one of the biggest signs that he's not genuinely invested in the relationship. And even worse is when he makes you feel guilty for being upset. If, instead of supporting you, he says things like, "You're overreacting," or "Stop being so sensitive," that's not empathy, that's invalidation. A loving partner doesn't mock your pain. He supports you and makes sure to lift you up. A relationship should provide emotional security, not make you feel like your emotions are a problem. Now that you recognize these signs, here's the real question: is this relationship even worth it? Are you investing in someone who never truly loved you? The answer might be difficult, but one thing is certain: you deserve much more than emotional crumbs. And deep down, you already know that. If this video helped you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. And go ahead and check out the next video. It's already playing on the screen now. See you there in a few seconds.